Greetings, guys and gals from across the internet. Allow me to offer you a warm welcome, not just to this video, not just to this beautiful day, but most importantly, welcome to Phase 4 of the MCU. Yes, superfans, it has been one wild decade navigating the Marvel Cinematic Universe's first 3 phases, and cinema itself is forever changed as a result. With Spider-Man Far From Home rolling credits, Phase 4 is set to begin, and Marvel has been unusually tight-lipped about what is to come. Thankfully, Spider-Man's sequel chose to grace us with not one, but 2 end-credit scenes that shed a spotlight on where we are headed in the coming phase. From confirming Marvel's exquisite taste in casting to introducing the first import from the Disney Fox deal, Spidey's end credit scenes were some of the juiciest we've seen since Thanos cracked a smile at the end of 2012's Avengers. I'm HUDSIMUS Prime, and after a brief hiatus, I am back and ready to walk you through all the sweet, dark foreboding we received at the end of Far From Home. So saddle up, strap in, and hold on to your MJ. Prime Predictions is back and in full swing. Before we dive in, this is your courtesy, get the F out if you're scared of spoilers and haven't seen Spider-Man Far From Home yet. For everyone else who doesn't care, and for everyone feeling their Peter tingle, let's get to it. Our first end credit scene shows the end of Peter and MJ's wild web ride through the city.
Never doing that again.
Upon returning to street level, everyone's attention is drawn to a breaking news bulletin in Times Square. The Daily Bugle is revealed to be the source of the report, with none other than J. Jonah Jameson himself reporting. Marvel could easily have found some actor who would have been okay, but really would have made us all wish for J.K. Simmons like we had in the Raimi trilogy. Thankfully, Marvel agreed and hired J.K. Simmons to reprise his role as J. Jonah Jameson to the delight of millions of men, women, and children everywhere. Comics fans know this was the logical casting choice. J.K. playing J.J. ranks among the best comic-to-screen conversions, along with Patrick Stewart as Professor X, Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, and Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. Imagine Whiplash, but instead of emotionally abusing a young man to excel at playing drums, he's emotionally abusing a young man to gain the best pictures of Spider-Man. His combination of humor and gruffness perfectly mirrors the heart of the character devised by Stan Lee.
They're crap.
As good as it is to see J.K. back in the saddle as Jonah, his appearance does not spell good news for Spider-Man. He's the delivery method for the contingency plan Mysterio warned Spidey about during their fight. JJ shows footage taken from the battle, edited to paint Spider-Man as Mysterio's murderer and the owner of the killbots released from Eden. If being cast as the villain weren't bad enough, Quentin dropped a huge truth bomb on the public, outing Spider-Man as Peter Parker to anybody with an internet connection. Understandably, this will put quite a strain on Mr. Parker's life, both in and outside of the websuit, and I as a viewer could not be more thrilled. Not as a sadistic SOB who enjoys watching others suffer, of course not, but as a lifelong comic reader who sees where this decision is going. What we just witnessed, Marvel fans, was the MCU's first step towards a dark reign of supervillains. In the comics, Dark Reign is an overarching storyline in which the supervillains have gained control of the government. Led by Spider-Man's nemesis Norman Osborn, aka the Green Goblin, a team of villains masquerade as popular heroes, assuming their identities to cover their nefarious acts. Since all the major hero teams took a beating during Civil War, what's left of our heroes are forced to do good from the shadows and unseat the villainous posse that has cast them as traitors. The first step towards doing this was just taken in Far From Home: vilify your heroes. By blaming Spider-Man for Mysterio's murder, they've taken Iron Man's chosen heir and run his name through the mud. Now the world will look for a new Tony Stark elsewhere, which leaves the door open for a schmuck like Norman Osborn to walk through. While leading the Dark Avengers, Norman dons the Iron Patriot armor in the comics. We've seen Rhodey wear it, and in doing so, he'll become the team's equivalent of not only Iron Man, but a splash of Captain America just for good measure. Having Marvel's next big event climax in Dark Reign would allow Peter to face off with Norman with the memory of Iron Man on the line. If Marvel can correctly play out Peter and Norman's relationship, this confrontation could be the biggest grudge match since, well, Thanos and Tony. Though he has yet to appear in the MCU, having a crazy billionaire step in and rid the city of a public menace could be exactly the angle Marvel uses to bring Norman Osborn and the Thunderbolts around for Spider-Man 3. If he succeeds, Osborn could easily ride public support to become Earth's top cop, especially if Fury's busy in space. Which does bring us to our final end credits scene, where it's revealed Nick Fury wasn't Nick Fury for the entire movie. He and Maria Hill were being impersonated by the delightful Skrulls from Captain Marvel, Talos, and what's-her-name. They're shown reporting the events of the film to the actual Nick Fury, who appears to be relaxing on a beach. However, it's just another trick, as it's revealed he's actually in some Star Trek simulator, highly likely to be on his space station. He's barefoot, he's yelling at people, and he cannot find his boots, and that's where the scene ends. Now, if you were able to follow that Russian doll of deception, the hint of the MCU's future waiting at the center is very encouraging. The true reveal here is that Fury is most likely existing on the Peak, the headquarters for S.H.I.E.L.'s spacefaring counterpart, S.W.O.R.D. Basically, it's S.H.I.E.L.D. mixed with Men in Black and orbiting the Earth. Now, this is a no-brainer, as the number of alien ass-whoopings happening within our atmosphere has skyrocketed since we first started flexing our spandex-soaked muscles universally in 2012. With S.W.O.R.D. in place, Marvel's ready to have Earth play on a galactic scale, which lines up with what we've heard Feige is focusing on for Phase 4. Lastly, if this base does in fact belong to S.W.O.R.D., then we surprisingly have the first import from the Disney-Fox deal on our hands here, people. S.W.O.R.D.'s first official appearance was in Astonishing X-Men 6. Now, according to the Fox licensing deal that I remember, that would have placed them squarely under Fox's rights with the X-Men franchise. Anything created within an X-Men comic book, Fox was given the movie rights to. While it's not a gruff but lovable New Yorker covered in orange rocks, or a stocky Canadian in yellow spandex, it is the first sign the massive entertainment deal wasn't a figment of our imaginations. Within months, Disney has already taken advantage of the wealth of characters they received from Fox, and it is a poetic transition from Phase 3 to 4. What better way to tease all that's to come for this new MCU than by sneaking in a taste of what's new at Disney? Now, I don't know about you all, but this movie got me pumped to see what's around the corner for the MCU, and frankly, I needed that after the rush job GOT Season 8 gave us. A huge thank you to everybody watching at home and abroad. It's always good to spend time with you, and I'm glad you chose to spend time with me. If I forgot anybody to add to the Comic Book Casting Hall of Fame, please do let me know in the comments below. And also let me know what you thought of Spider-Man Far From Home. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know your thoughts below. Remember to like and subscribe to stay up to date and informed on what's to come for the MCU. Be sure to check out my channel for more Marvel and gaming videos. Plus, watch me predict the Black Widow set leak characters 6 months in advance. If you're still listening, know that you're my favorite. Until next time, guys and gals, good luck in your adventures, and Godspeed.